Welcome to AnimeFan Narrations, Solo Leveling Episode 55.
Is this the power of the bead of avarice?
Considering these demons had to possess some natural resistance to fire, given their habitat, the fact that they were incinerated so effortlessly was astounding. As the realization hit him, a soft laugh escaped his lips.
Could I actually clear this dungeon faster than I anticipated?
Jinwoo gazed at the scorched battlefield and the smoldering remnants of his enemies, his heart swelling with a sudden burst of excitement.
Solo Leveling, Chapter 100.
The power of Fangs, now enhanced by the artifact Bead of Avarice, was absolutely staggering. Fangs inhaled such an immense amount of air that the surrounding temperature plummeted to an icy chill. Then, a massive column of flames erupted from his maw, sweeping across in a fiery arc and obliterating every enemy in its path.
You killed a high-rank demon. You have earned 1,700 experience points. You killed a superior demon. You have earned 2,200 experience points. You killed a high-rank demon.
One after another, notifications confirming the defeat of demons and the experience gained filled Jinwoo's view. The mechanical sounds of the messages kept chiming, seemingly without end. Jinwoo's face lit up with a broad grin.
I've struck gold.
When Fangs finally ceased his fiery rampage, it was clear his mana had been drained. With one devastating attack, he had incinerated the bulk of the demonic horde. However, a handful of demons, by sheer luck, had managed to escape the inferno unscathed. Jinwoo gave a simple command to his shadow soldiers, directing them to eliminate the survivors. As he observed over 100 shadow soldiers advancing in flawless formation, Jinwoo felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He truly embodied the role of the Shadow Sovereign.
You killed a high-rank demon. You killed a high-rank demon.
The gratifying notifications kept coming. Without lifting so much as a finger, Jinwoo relied solely on his shadow soldiers to decimate the enemy. Unsurprisingly, the MVP of the battle was none other than Fangs.
Fangs, you're amazing.
Jinwoo turned his gaze behind him, or more accurately, tilted his head back to look far above. Towering over him was the massive shadow magic soldier, formerly a high orc sorcerer, with the bead of avarice similarly enlarged to match his imposing size. The bead was a unique item that could double the magical attack power of its user. To Jinwoo, it seemed like the bead compensated perfectly for Fang's reduced strength after becoming a shadow soldier. And there still appeared to be untapped potential left.
Looks like I'll have to let Fangs hold on to the bead of avarice for now.
Even though Jinwoo also specialized in magic, none of his skills could benefit from the bead's amplifying effects, leaving him with little choice in the matter. He summoned his skill window.
Number of shadows that can be extracted, 127 of 820. Number of shadows that can be stored, 127 of 155.
Shadow extraction, shadow storage, and sovereign's territory.
None of these abilities were influenced by the bead of avarice at all. If he wanted to increase the capacity for either extraction or storage, his only option was to boost his intelligence stat. Jinwoo dismissed the skill window. By then, his shadow soldiers had regrouped in front of him after taking care of the remaining demons. As he surveyed the piles of demon corpses stacked high around him, Jinwoo couldn't help but grin.
With this many enemies defeated, I'll be swimming in loot.
Once again, an endless cascade of item acquisition notifications filled his vision.
Well, I've cleaned this place out.
Jinwoo's satisfied smile grew wider as he methodically collected all the spoils. Once done, he climbed onto Tank, his dependable Ice Bear Shadow Beast soldier. However, the entry permit needed to ascend to the next floor hadn't appeared yet, which meant there were more monsters to eliminate on this level. Jinwoo rallied his forces.
Let's move out.
Tank began to lumber forward, and the shadow soldiers followed closely behind in a disciplined formation.
Moving the entire army together isn't practical.
Jinwoo realized that having all 120 shadow soldiers operate as a single unit was not the most effective strategy. For weaker soldiers, this approach might work. Even the ordinary shadow soldiers had grown significantly stronger after leveling up multiple times, allowing them to hold their ground against the demons and secure victories. On top of that, Jinwoo had also incorporated monsters from an A-rank dungeon into his shadow army. Naturally, the overall strength and effectiveness of his forces had risen dramatically.
You killed a high-ranked. You killed a.
With his soldiers now boasting formidable combat skills, the time spent locating monsters on each floor was actually longer than the time it took to defeat them. Each level of the demon's castle was as vast as a typical city, making exploration a time-consuming process.
At this pace, I'll be stuck here forever.
To speed things up, Jinwoo split his shadow soldiers into 6 groups of 20 and sent them out in different directions to hunt. He issued them 2 straightforward commands. Eliminate every monster you encounter. Report back immediately if you find the entry permit for the next floor. While his soldiers couldn't speak, Jinwoo could still communicate effectively through simple hand signals. Since the shadow soldiers were unable to retrieve items, Jinwoo would have to go himself to collect the floor entry permit whenever it was located. Of course, this meant he had to leave behind any other loot on the floor, but advancing to the highest level was his main focus for now.
Move out.
At his order, the 6 groups scattered across the floor. Not long after that,
You have earned 1,500 experience points. You have earned 1,500 experience points. You have earned 900 experience points. You have earned 1,100 experience points.
experience points started pouring in from all directions.
Looks like my soldiers have started their hunt.
Jinwoo watched his experience points steadily rise and couldn't help but smile in satisfaction. But soon he noticed something unusual.
Why are the experience points I'm getting lower than before?
Ever since reaching the upper floors, he hadn't encountered the more common low or mid-ranked demons that were plentiful on the lower levels. Lately, most of the enemies Jinwoo encountered were high-ranked demons, occasionally accompanied by a few superior demons. Defeating a high-ranked demon awarded 1,700 experience points, while taking down a superior demon, a tier above, granted a fixed 2,200 points. But the experience points he was currently earning were nowhere near those amounts.
Does the distance between me and the fight affect how much experience I get?
Jinwoo kept a close eye on the steady stream of experience point notifications appearing before him. The values were indeed slightly lower than usual. It seemed his hunch about the distance reducing his experience earnings was correct.
Well, at least I've learned something useful.
He also felt reassured about his decision not to send his soldiers off in groups during the earlier floors. Back then, his focus had been on sharpening his own combat skills and ensuring he didn't miss a single demon soul, the essential quest items. Still, Jinwoo wasn't too bothered by the slight loss in experience points.
Sure, I'm earning less per kill, but
By covering a much wider area and maintaining a highly efficient hunting pace, his overall experience gain was faster than ever before. Even now, notifications for experience points kept flooding his view. Thanks to this system, his level, which had remained stagnant since arriving on this floor, was suddenly surging.
Level up. Level up.
Jinwoo clenched his fists, exhilarated.
yes,
Though he was giving up loot, the trade-off felt worthwhile.
I'm leveling up fast and clearing this floor quickly, killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
With his level rising by 2, Jinwoo smiled in satisfaction, feeling his efforts pay off. Jinwoo's strategy worked flawlessly. He managed to reach the 80th floor much faster than he had initially expected. As soon as he arrived, he wasted no time summoning his army of shadow soldiers again. All 119 shadow soldiers appeared at once. After leveling up significantly from their independent hunts, the soldiers had grown much stronger and more experienced.
Oh? When did Tank gain more than 10 levels?
Jinwoo's eyes widened in surprise. Feeling proud under its master's attention, Tank, who had been leveled 28 just the previous day, stood up on its hind legs and let out a triumphant roar. It wasn't just Jinwoo who was benefiting from the highly efficient hunting methods. A bright grin spread across his face.
Alright, let's get moving.
As before, Jinwoo split his forces into 6 groups and sent them off in different directions. Then, he headed out on his own. Operating solo was second nature to him, and honestly, he didn't need the soldiers' assistance. With the exception of Fangs, whose power was enhanced by the bead of avarice, Jinwoo was confident he could defeat his entire shadow soldier army by himself. However,
But if Fangs joins in?
that could make things much more intriguing. Still, that was just a hypothetical scenario, one he didn't plan to test.
Was it about a week ago?
Out of pure curiosity, and as a bit of an experiment, Jinwoo had once ordered his shadow soldiers to attack him. For the first time ever, they refused his command.
I wasn't sure if it was their loyalty to me or some other force holding them back.
In the end, they didn't even attempt to move. As their master, Jinwoo didn't mind that result. It was reassuring in its own way. But for now,
Why haven't I seen any demons yet?
summoning Baruka's dagger, Jinwoo idly tossed it in the air, catching it repeatedly as he tried to sense any nearby enemies.
I can feel their presence close by, but
He paused to scan his surroundings. The distinct presence of monsters was clear, yet none were in sight. When was the last time he had encountered something like this? Didn't he go through a similar situation before? Suddenly, the ground began to tremble violently, shifting unnaturally before erupting upward with force. In that instant, 3 superior demons emerged from beneath the earth, surrounding Jinwoo while emitting eerie, unsettling laughter. Jinwoo's expression twisted into a deep frown. The demons misinterpreted his reaction as fear. Competing among themselves, they lunged forward, their gaping mouths aiming straight for his head, human heads being the most desirable part of their prey. But just as they closed in, Their target leapt into the air, spinning mid-flight. Before Jinwoo's feet even touched the ground again, the demons' heads were already rolling, landing softly with a series of thud, thud.
You killed a superior demon. You killed a.
Ah.
Jinwoo clapped his hands lightly, as if something had just clicked. The memory finally came back to him. It was during the last rank C dungeon he had cleared with Yu Jinho.
Right. Those stone men back then did the exact same thing, hiding underground before jumping out like this.
The gloomy look on his face from struggling to remember brightened instantly. It felt as though a weight had been lifted from his mind. Still smiling, Jinwoo collected the loot from the fallen demons and continued on his way.
Thanks for watching Solo Leveling on AnimeFan Narrations. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for updates. Share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.